Hello and welcome to the UK and Ireland Minnesota Vikings Fan Club podcast. On this week's show, we are going to go around the NFL as usual, see who scored what in the NFL this week. We will be reviewing the London game. I think looking around, I think everyone looks a little bit worse for wear, but we're all here. We're all talking. We're going to go through the pre-game for London, obviously all the antics we've got through during the week, and then we're going into a bye. So we've got no preview of the next game. So let's roll the intro. And joining us on tonight's show, we have Vice President and all-round nice guy, John McDonald. We have Co-President and Chief Drum Dropper, Reece Field. We have Content Lead and Smiley Nice Guy and my host in London for a couple of nights, TPJ. And my dad and Chief Advisor, Daz Hales. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Put it out, John.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Good
There we go.
A good check that all of our mutes are working. Excellent. Good. Move on.
Just like the Vikings, we've made an excellent start.
Absolutely. Excellent start. Oh, by the way, I'm Big Deal Rich. I should probably say that as well. Co-president, fan club, also host, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, we had a good week this week. But now there's anyone else.
He's a big deal.
So don't worry about that. But we had a good week this week. I think my body after the 4 weeks that we've had, the last 4 weeks, Minnesota, watch party, Dublin, and now my body is now saying, please, can we just stop at home this week? So it is welcoming the bye. We're all extremely happy. But before we start, we're going to have a massive chat about all things this week, London game. But before then, TPJ, I'm coming to you. Can you give us a run round of the NFL this weekend?
I completely forgot you were coming to me with that.
Of course I'm coming to you, mate.
Of course you're coming to me. I apparently do it the best of all of us. All right, well, we'll start on Thursday night. We've got the 49ers and the Rams playing in an NFC West clash. That one went to overtime. It was won by the 49ers with a field goal in the extra period, 26-23. We'll come back to the Vikings Browns in a bit because obviously that's what you're all here to, hear our breakdown of it. So we'll leave the London game for now. A lot of high-scoring games this week, and some surprises as well. C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans beating the Baltimore Ravens, who were without Lamar Jackson, 44-10. Another 3-point margin in the Panthers-Dolphins game. Panthers winning at home 27-24. Then you've got the Indianapolis Colts absolutely barnstorming the Las Vegas Raiders, 40-6. The New Orleans Saints were successful last night as well. They beat the New York Giants 26-14. The Dallas Cowboys beat the New York Jets to make it a New York loss double, 37-22 rather. The Denver Broncos probably pulled off the biggest surprise of the weekend, beating the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, who are our next opponents after the bye, beating them 21-17. People were saying that looked like a potential Broncos win beforehand. Philadelphia went out to a fairly big lead, and then Denver came back to win it. Tennessee against Arizona, the Titans against the Cardinals, just a 1-point margin in that one, and a lot of real stupid football. Tennessee winning that one 22-21. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another 3-point margin, but this one was a bit higher scoring, 38-point winners over the Seattle Seahawks, only scored 35. The Detroit Lions, beat the Cincinnati Bengals 37-24. The Washington Commanders, playing out west in LA, beat the LA Chargers 27-10. And in Sunday Night Football, the New England Patriots shocked the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo 23-20, leaving a Monday night game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What's the score going to be, Mr. Oracle?
26. 20. Chiefs.
Kansas win. I've looked through the results this weekend. I also so I'll start with, was the Cardinals game the worst game of football ever played in the history of the NFL?
It was the funniest.
No, but it was close.
It was the funniest.
Very funny.
Kyler Murray getting slapped in the face by his own snap was hilarious.
Absolutely.
Did you watch our game against Oakland a couple of years ago?
All right, 3-0. We can all remember that one.
That said, I was going to say that our game in London was one of the worst London games until we won it.
Until we won it. Well, we'll come back to that. A couple of other things. The Bills getting beat by the Patriots is ridiculous. And the Ravens getting absolutely hammered. The Eagles getting absolutely hammered. The Rams lost a game that they should have won. Every time we've done this so far for the last 5 weeks, it has been what's going on. And I'm looking around the league. I'm not seeing anyone storm away thinking that they're brilliant. The Bills were supposed to be the team and then getting beat at home by a not as good a Pats team. I mean, let's face it, they are not as good as the Bills. But the score last night suggested it. The Jets are still terrible. The Cowboys won a game. It's just a bit weird. It's all a bit weird.
Well, there's no unbeaten teams left, is there?
No, it's all done.
All gone.
Yeah. I think the Bucks are actually probably the best all-round team in the league.
Yeah, I mean, Baker Mayfield. I like Baker Mayfield. He's a good player. And they've got players out as well. Evans is out, and
winning even without Mike Evans is incredible.
Yeah. And Bucky Irving was out as well.
Are the Colts the most underrated team out there at the moment?
Colts played the Raiders. I think we'd beat the Raiders.
I still haven't seen them play.
I mean, this is the thing. Sure. This is what they said about the Bills. Look at the Bills when they didn't play a team that was 1-4 currently, or 0-3, or that's the whole same.
Are we heading for a Colts Bucks Super Bowl?
Whoa, slow down.
let's not lay that out week 5.
If that
I know we've all had a busy weekend, but wow.
You are forever the oracle if that happens.
Yeah.
Write it down, put a 5 on it. TPJ.
You don't need to write it down. We're recording this, Richard.
Well, okay. Watch again, put a 5 on it. We're here really to talk about something that happened this weekend. It just we came away from Dublin last week. I was a little bit broken. Daz, you were a little bit poorly. You feeling all right now?
I am about 80%. I'm still, If I fall off my chair and pass out, it's just ignore me and carry on.
And then TPJ, you were okay after Dublin. You were working the game, so very straight-laced and sensible. Reece, you were coming back from the other side of the world, and then one of us decided to pick up a bicycle and cycle all the way from Dublin to London. We had mid-cycle last week. John, after the game, after the cycle, how's the legs?
Yeah, I'm feeling fine. Actually, surprisingly, I'm actually feeling all right. Yeah, it was weird not being on a bike, but yeah.
Keep doing this, teacher.
Feeling good. We've raised a lot. We've done a lot of good. We've raised a lot of money.
He misses having something between his legs.
Reece, what's the count at the moment?
Oh goodness! Last time I checked, it was around about 3,700 plus the gift day, plus what we sold on the weekend, plus Tesco. Quite a lot. I mean, it's important to mention that John did do this for charity, not just because he's cheap and wants to save himself 100 quid on the train fare. So well done, John.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, as I said to John yesterday, I was having watched his, all of his updates throughout the week. They all just felt a little bit too cheery for me. You
want to see him suffer a bit, don't you?
It was all a bit too, it's been a lovely day. No, I don't want to hear that, John. I want to hear how you struggled all day.
I'm starting to think he didn't actually do any cycling.
But he fell off his bike once.
Have you guys seen me pull into Jess's?
Yeah.
I look like a drowned rat.
Is your phone working again now? I know you had a bit of water damage on your phone that day as well. Is it all right now?
Water damage from that day.
I'm not arguing whether John did it. Just he handled it so well to do.
Like a champ.
To do that and everything to just be. Yeah. I mean, I would have been moaning after about 3 seconds.
I mean, you moan the vast majority of the time anyway. Never mind when you're not riding a bike. But
don't even go there. Me moaning.
let's.
I mean, to be fair,
we can bring up some conversations that I have to.
We're going to get to that.
We give you things to moan about. Let's face facts.
I had a great team behind me. I'm not going to lie. I was just pinging videos over, and our social teams and everyone out there was just getting them out whenever they could, as soon as they could. Yeah, it was a great team. Support team I had behind me, and there was some adversity with a couple of punches along the way, but as you say, with these things, you can't let one bad moment of a day ruin the rest of your day. So you just got to keep pedaling.
Exactly.
Shout out Ryan Lana for bringing you your spare inner tubes, and also just shout out you, man. Like because a lot of these people who do like long bike rides and stuff, like people who swim the channel, obviously that's a lot more dangerous. But they have a support team, like they have a boat beside them in the channel. They'll have a car running alongside them if you're cycling a long way. You didn't have that. You just put your head down and kept your legs going. And I mean, people should see his calves now. But also
when two ex NFL players compliment on you on your calves, you're doing something right.
Yeah, but please,
two NFL legends compliment you on your calves, you're doing something all right.
We need to keep this on the down low. We can't let it go because remember, just to boost that a little bit further in the charity, those guys are going on OnlyFans. So we can't, it's just a little teaser. Just a little teaser.
That's what we like to say.
Would we be risking our official fan club status if we set up an OnlyFans?
Probably.
Not with John's calves. Have you seen John's calves? I think there's no other excuse not to now.
Yeah.
I think that's
it's what OnlyFans was made for. Let's be honest.
Exactly. We'll add the feet later. I
have to say, Alyssa and Keisha did say to me that they expect John to set up an OnlyFans in the next couple of weeks.
Exactly. There you go. So well done. I've already said my piece about it, John, but I'm going to say it again. Immensely proud of what you've achieved over the last week. You've raised some incredible sum of money for Mind, which is going to go to a lot of people that need it, and totally selfless asked because we were all having a jolly knees up whilst you were on the bike all week, and we know how much you like to be involved in the Vikings goings on during the week, and you would have been up London town every night if you could have been, but totally selfless, took yourself away, raised a load of money for the charity Mind, and I'm again immensely proud of what you've achieved. So congratulations again, well done. We are going to move on. We're going to move on to the antics in London. That's what we're here for. That's what we want to hear. It sort of started on Thursday. TPG, I think you're the only person in London town on Thursday. We all. With all the other goings on, we all had a bit of work and all that sort of stuff. But you describe the scenes.
Fairly subdued on the Thursday because obviously it was the first night of actual organised activity, and who wants to start off with a pub quiz? But I do, and in fact, I should mention I'm appearing on Only Connect in exactly 7 days. So
exactly 7 days. We'll mention that again next week. I'm sure.
October the 13th. Everyone can tune in. But yeah, getting back to the Vikings stuff, the quiz was pretty well run. We had a good time. Some good prizes on offer.
Who was on your team? That's all we want to know. Who was on your team? What was your team name?
My team was it was myself and Katie Marriott's sister and her husband, and our friend Tom Hendrick, who you may all know from the cast of Ted Lasso. And his friend Gosha, she's not a Vikings fan; she's a Saints fan. But we let her sit with us out of pity, and actually she helped. She contributed a few points. So unfortunately, we didn't come in the top 3 this time. No, we had a good time. It was nice. I mean, like I say, quite subdued, but that's the kind of evening I like. Yeah. Move on to Friday.
I like how you just glossed over the fact you were sat with one of the cast of Ted Lasso there, by the way.
Yeah.
Tom's a nice guy. He's a friend of the club and a massive Vikings fan. He was at the game at the weekend. Every time they kept panning over to the cast, he was with a whole bopping around. Yeah. Well, they weren't allowed to show Vikings fans on the feed. We'll get back to that later. But
we're probably going to try and get Tom on here to do a sort of standalone interview in the coming weeks. And
yes.
There's a few celeb Vikings fans who I'd like to get on here. I mean, minor celebs, obviously. We're only the Minnesota Vikings, but
there's I'm going to butcher it. Is it Chris Hughes who he's also a Sunderland fan, minor celeb. He was on the latest Big Brother, I think. He's a big Vikings fan. We'll hunt him down and back him into a corner for an interview, I'm sure. But we went on to the Friday, and Friday was when I arrived, so obviously got a bit more bouncing. The sort of party till midnight, I think it was sort of dubbed at the Redwood. I said, do you know what? Last year, being the home team and getting the Greenwood pub was a coup, because the Redwood it's still a great venue, but ever so slightly smaller, and the weather didn't help as well. It was absolutely hoying it down on Friday, and I turned up wet as a kipper, and the club was a bit, I don't know, a bit flat maybe by the time I got there, just because the weather was bad and a bit cold and people were a bit miserable.
I don't know if it was especially flat. I think for me, it was, we got there late, so we hadn't had that sort of like, we hadn't been eased into it like everyone else who was well lubricated by the time we got there.
I mean, I was there early, and I'd say it, from how you both described it, it was consistent with the tone of the evening.
I'm not going to lie.
Like last year's tailgate party where you had the fight song playing every half an hour. It was different. Yeah, some people really enjoyed it. Might not have been everyone's cup of tea, but I think people.
I'm not going to lie. I'd forgotten you were there because you weren't there by the time me and Rich got there.
Yeah, I know. Stuff happens. But
yeah, life happens.
Life gets in the way.
But yeah, it was, and Jess was there, and we got to meet Jess's new fella, nice bloke. But yeah, it was nice. It was. I'm not saying, and you know what? Again, the Vikings do an incredible job of decking the place out, and but you can lead a horse to water sometimes, and like I say, the weather at the weekend running up to the game, especially when people were a little bit hungover from Dublin, and the vast majority of people had been to both games and hungover from the loss in Dublin. So there was a little bit of, I don't know, subdued sort of lack of expectation, lack of excitement maybe for the weekend. But
the weather sort of played into affecting Saturday, because they didn't have the ability to get everything set up overnight for the fan festival at Battersea. So they were originally going to start that at 10 a.m. and they had to push it back to 2 p.m. And in fact, the actual event didn't even start until 2:30 because they were still putting up bits.
Ruined by Amy. That was the problem. Storm, Amy bumbled in, and actually it wasn't just the fan festival, which again we spoke to the Vikings and they were devastated that they couldn't do exactly what they wanted to do, because even when we were reading about their activities, etc., we knew it was going to be a great day, but to have to cut it short because of the weather was a pain. But people travelling in as well, we're speaking to Martin this morning. Martin comes from the very, very north of Scotland, and his first flight was delayed. First flight was cancelled. Second flight was delayed, so he didn't land at the time he was supposed to. And people from Newcastle were like, "Oh, am I going to be able to get down?" It was just a bit of a pain in the ass, if I was honest. And
delays again with just the theme of the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And but I'll just because we've already mentioned John managing to meet a couple of NFL legends. Just run us through who they were, John.
Yes, at Battersea, I made a quick stop to say hello to everyone, where they had Chris Carter and John Randall there doing answering questions from fans and everything like that. Yeah, and the Vikings very graciously gave me a photo up with both of them, because they had been taking photos with fans during the week at different periods, and because they knew, the Vikings knew Keisha and everyone knew what I'd been doing and why I hadn't been there. They very graciously gave me a photo of both the NFL legends who complimented me on my calves, which is so they're like, this guy's definitely done it, because look, you see the size of those swollen calves. There's no doubt he's been cycling since Dublin.
Mate, you look great, and I've already asked for the photographs of that event, so we'll get them over to you. Sure, we'll get them framed and send them over to you. But yeah, that was nice. The Vikings to invite you in and meet the legends. Chris Carter speaks for himself. John Reynolds speaks for himself. It's probably the two players of why I'm a Vikings fan. If I was honest, they were my players growing up. And then sort of the rest of Saturday, back to the Redwood, bit of drinking, bit of liveliness, and all that sort of stuff. The real stuff.
You kind of miss it. I know you went and did your own little thing, but you're kind of glossing over the big achievement.
John did actually make it to Tottenham.
He did make it to Tottenham. We had a brief exchange, John and I. He's like, I take John's bag. He said, look, I'll take the backpack for you for the last, 10 kilometers, whatever it is. And John and I went, should we give you an inner tube just in case? And we decided with everything that was going on, the fact it was the Vikings thing, we had to just leave John with an inner tube. Thankfully, no punctures. And John made it to Tottenham in one piece to a guard of honour, which was really nice.
Mm. Yeah, I was slightly delayed from Battersea to Tottenham because as I was cycling through North London, the Arsenal game kicked out. Full-time whistle went.
We didn't plan that very well, did we?
Unfortunately, I got stuck in the crowd of celebrating Arsenal fans celebrating the top of the league.
I'm sure you weren't complaining.
I love the irony that the Arsenal result match was an inconvenience to you. That just makes me feel. That's just brightened my day. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Then I gave Reece a call when we were at. I got to the Seven Sisters and they set up a very, very nice guard of honour where clapped me in a few fans, and then we went in and spent a lot of money in the NFL shop.
Getting some nice merch. I was otherwise occupied. It was bigger deal Lauren's birthday this week, so I took her to go see Mousetrap. And as you'll all know, I'm sworn to secrecy not to tell you who did it at the end of Mousetrap. Go see it yourself. It's a very good show. Yeah. It is a good show. I was enjoying myself.
There's a reason it's the longest running show in the world.
73rd year. 73rd year. That is incredible. If I make it run into 73, I'll be pretty pleased, I think.
Shall we get on to Sunday then?
Sunday.
So
Sunday.
Sunday is the game, the game day, the day they play football. We were all up super early, all the way down to the two brewers, to get the drum set up, to get the merch table set up, to get the flags up, to get the beer flowing. Jonah, bless him, continued his tradition of having a Jaeger bomb at bloody 8:30 in the morning or something ridiculous at the two brewers, which hats off to Jonah. Hats off to him. You can't say any fairer than that, can you? And yeah, it was all right, wasn't it? It was all right. Reece, I'm going to come to you first. Obviously, you were there. How was your experience of pre-game on Sunday?
99% positive, 1% dropped the drum at one point. But I loved it. Great experience. It was carnival atmosphere. Everyone was brilliantly behaved. The security at the end, I jumped forward, said, "Can't believe how clean it is out here," despite the fact of everyone who had been out there drinking. There maybe 5 plastic cups on the ground. Really, really well done to everyone who was there. Fans, ourselves as well, for putting it on. Cliff and the team at the Victoria as well for getting more beer in, because it lasted right up until kickoff this year. So the magic number, and Cliff still said he's going to order more next time.
There you go.
How quickly did we sell out of For Whom the Bell Skulls?
It depends which pub you go to.
Yeah.
So they did have a little bit in the Vic post game, which again I was pretty happy with because that's the beer I can drink. So we went to the Vic, but the Brewers was out it was just long before kickoff, I think.
Just after the skull match started.
Yeah, so they were wow. 9 kegs deep or something ridiculous by the time that we'd left the pub, and just again the atmosphere that it. I said it a lot of times over the weekend. One, because I'd been to 2 Minnesota games and the result didn't go our way, but I said people wouldn't go to sport if the only thing you went to sport for was the result. And never a truer word said of this weekend, because the people, the atmosphere, the merriment, the stories flying around, the hugs, haven't seen you for a year, all that stuff is just a really special element of our fan club that I really enjoy. You know, the Italians came, and then the Germans turned up in numbers when they turned up as well, and it was just again just absolutely incredible. John, I'm going to come to you because obviously you've had a long week away, and then to experience that, what was that like after having basically no human contact for a week, and then having more human contact than you could ever imagine on Sunday morning?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I got there about just after 9 because a few of my trains were delayed and everything like that. But I got there in good time, and it was just good to see everyone asking the same. How are you still standing, John? How are you still standing, John? I think I must have asked.
You've been
that
sat
question
down for a week.
I think I asked that question about 100 times on Sunday, and that's lowballing it. But yeah, it was very nice to see everyone and hear nice words and encouragement about how well I done and what good thing we were putting on there, because some people were there for the first time and they were just like, this is just amazing. I didn't know that UK had this many Vikings fans. I'm like, no, it's not just the UK, it's the Europeans, because the Europeans definitely bring it. The French, the Italians always bring it. Those boys love it, and the Germans, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah,
absolutely, loads of fun. Tom, I know you were working for the game. So you're and Darren. I'll come at Darren first. Darren, you turned up. At what percentage feeling well were you at this stage when you turned up on Sunday?
So I love percentages. I was feeling pretty rough. I mean, the truth is, so I've had a bit of man flu over the week, so but the big thing that is, I think I might have an ear infection because I'm basically suffering from vertigo at the same time.
No.
So I basically, yeah. So early on, I was feeling pretty rough and just feeling dizzy. But then I got for whom the bell skulls, and then
balance you out.
I just yeah, exactly. I just thought, I feel drunk anyway, so I might as well just what difference is it going to make? So yeah, so yes, it got me through the day. I was, so yeah, I survived, and it was much fun was had. Yeah, everyone was great. And like you say, it's always good to catch up with people. It was nice to for me, it was nice to catch up with a few of the Americans that had come over that I had met in Dublin, and then got to see them again at London, and have that relationship. So that was really good. So yeah, it was a really good experience, and I'd have had to been basically being carted off by an undertaker to not be there. So yeah, it was good.
John's described it as the best part of every weekend before, which I think is quite apt. I think it's that anticipation for the game, everyone getting together. It's it's loads of fun. And do you know what? I'm obviously I'm not one to toot my own horn or toot our own collective horns, but hats off to everyone, because we put a lot of effort into putting that together, and it does come together really well. And this year we got ourselves a drum, which was even more impressive. And there's loads of social media videos flying around of, beating the drum, doing the skull march, all that sort of, dropping the drum, doing the skull march. And then, yeah, it was quite a fun morning. Everything about it was great. And the skull march itself, led by our fearless vice president, John. There's loads of pictures of that flying around as well. Marching down, I don't even know what that road's called. Is it White Hart Lane?
It is the Seven Sisters Road.
Yeah. Is it? Okay.
Well, it's Tottenham High Road in places. It's a very long
road.
There,
yeah.
The road
changes name.
After the weekend, just rename it Viking Way, okay? Because
exactly
every time we win,
rename it for the weekend. Whenever we come back,
Vikings
permanently.
Way.
No one knows important these plays at their stadium, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? It was just a great.
I'm going to go back into the backstage, aren't I?
And we were. It culminated as well with a final skull chant outside the stadium, and everyone had a go with the drum. There was a young lad there. I can't remember it for the life of me. Remember his name, but since getting the drum out at the Two Brewers, 3 hours later, he was like, looking at the drum.
Can I have a go?
Still walking past it, thinking, I wonder I could get. And he got to go to lead a skull chant at the end. It was just, it's great fun, and something I'm quite proud that the club is able to do.
It was awesome.
Yeah, one thing I would like to say is thanks to Chris Dennis, the Raiders fan, Sue's other half, who took some amazing videos on the march, and him and his Raiders friend.
His Raiders friend, who has even given me his name, actually, because he was like, he's like, I want to share the photos, but I also want to be named. I said, that's fine. And then I asked Chris, how do you pronounce his surname? And he said, I don't have a clue. So apologies, Raider Jonathan Suntarb, if I butchered the pronunciation of your surname, but thank you very much. Your photos and videos are absolutely incredible, and they captured what was a fantastic tailgate.
Yeah,
it's just having other fans from other clubs come up to us and say, how do you do this? How do you pull something like this off? I tell you, it's a lot of work behind the scenes, but yeah, these things don't come together by accident. But we've got a big team.
We work very hard, and we keep, every time the Vikings come back, which I don't expect them to do for a little while now because they've done 3 the last 4 years. But every time they come back, we want to do a bigger and better tailgate for everyone. Make them want to come back and be Vikings fans.
Yeah, that's absolutely it. And Lauren's sort of half regretting it as the day went on, because she'd decided to do her glitter and my face paint at the pub when we got there. Anyway, 30 seconds after getting the glitter out and setting all up to do our face paints and her glitter, it was like a queue. It was the next person. Oh, could you put some glitter on my? Oh, could you? And she's a Bills fan, obviously.
Not charging.
Well, that's the next thing. We'll get some public liability insurance and we'll start charging next time. But yeah, I think it was just that atmosphere of, nothing was too much for anyone. Everyone helping each other out. Just a great atmosphere to be in pre-game, and then marching up to the stadium for the game. Tom, I'm going to come to you just before we actually get into the game. Tom, we say every week, oh yeah, Tom was working for the game. Do you run the flags? Do you get the oranges out at halftime?
I was on the chain crew.
What do you actually do when you work?
He's the one with that big orange thing on his arm that just keeps.
I've got the big orange oven mitts.
He's the one who put the cable in the way of Will Reichard's field.
Oh, I was going
to say, No, so I mean, I do work for the broadcaster, so I'm obviously a trained journalist. I've worked in the media for 10 years now, and over the years, I've developed a few contacts, and I've been lucky enough to meet people who work on the NFL and who've managed to get me a position working on the NFL when it comes to London. And not just London, because I got to go to Dublin last week, and I'll be going to Berlin and Madrid in November. In fact, I'll be hopefully flying out to Madrid on my birthday. No, my role is, so I'm official stats. So that's not entering the data. There are other people who do that. I'm working for the broadcasters, just making sure that the official data matches the TV graphics. And it sounds like a small role, and it very much is, but I don't want to tell them that. Because if they realize
4 people on a podcast. So
yeah. Well, Reece has helped me out with this before. Actually, Reece is they sometimes have a speciality stats person if they want to keep track of particular stats, but they've sort of condensed that down. They've not really had speciality stats for a while, but it's a great little thing.
Season, yeah.
What's that?
I said not since they asked me to keep an eye on Carl Pitts, and then he went for his his single yardage game of his career up until this season.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, yeah. So my job, I'm keeping track of the plays as they're happening, but I'm also shouting out when a flag goes down, so that they can put in whenever you see flag come in on the TV graphics. There might be a flag that's gone down outside of the vision of the camera that they've currently got on screen. So they need someone who's in the stadium watching the whole field going flag, 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 and then they can put in the little yellow graphic. I'm also calling out return guys for kicks, who the running back is if they change between plays. Just helps everyone keep track of the game a bit better.
But this is how the magic happens, you see.
Yeah,
nothing happens
kimono
without TPK. This is it. So we've got your version of how you view the game. I got into the stadium without a hitch, which is more than I can say for some of the people that were looking to get. Reece, I know you've been very vocal on this one. What was your experience and what happened?
Experience was absolutely appalling, really, because the One Pass app went down. People who had already downloaded their tickets couldn't get into the stadium. People who were trying to access their tickets couldn't get the app to work. There was no communication from anyone. Not the fault of the stadium staff, because they didn't know what was going on either. Jess got to the front of the queue for the ticket booth where they were going to print out people's tickets on paper, and there were only 2 computers working in the entire ticket office. There was a massive scrum forming outside gates 2 to 5 because only 2 turnstiles were working, and it was slowly developing into carnage. It could have been, and probably Daz and I were saying, if this is a football match, this is descended into chaos by now. Thankfully, it was an NFL crowd. Everyone was very well behaved. And so it was dealt with as amicably as possible, but it was not good, because it effectively got to the point of a notification went up on the phone of go to a gate and show them your confirmation. That was the app through One Pass. That notification came up, and then everyone pretty much formed a scrum, because everyone had been directed to gate 7 where the ticket booth was. Everyone formed a scrum trying to push up the stairs, which wasn't nice. My fiance quite a bit shorter, as people who have seen her know. She's about 5 foot, and she was grabbing onto Darren and grabbing onto me to not get separated in the crowd. Couldn't see what was going on. Darren was at the front of a wedge to get us up the stairs. But I don't want to know what it was like for people who might have had kids in that, because it wasn't a pleasant experience, and everyone was quite well behaved, but the only way you could get in was to push your way up the stairs. Security.
How much of the game did you miss?
I missed the first 5. The first play I saw was the Jordan Mason fumble. I think Daz missed a little bit more than I did, because he had further to go.
Yeah, I had a bit more chaos because so for me, obviously, I'd had the boo me. I'd pay for the luxury of hospitality, so obviously didn't get any of that, which was disappointing. But also because you're you get sent to the area where you are closest to your seat when you get put in. But because we were all going into basically one corner of the stadium, the amount of times I got sent up to the 4th floor, then, oh, no, to get to your area, you got to go back down to the 1st. So I was running around the stadium for another 10 minutes. So I missed the first touchdown. I missed the fumble. I missed the first touchdown. I think I finally got to my seat by about the second drive. So I probably missed the first half of the first quarter.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And ridiculous on the day, but even more ridiculous, whoever made the decision for this year to switch from what was a perfectly fine and working system to switching to having to get your ticket via One Pass without really telling anyone, and then for it to break on the day, someone needs to be sacked.
One Pass has played with issues, because when we played the Saints, they said, use the One Pass app so you could do the activations. I think it was on the South Bank there, the activations, and people were stood there queuing for 5 minutes at the front of the queue because the One Pass app wouldn't load up to give them the access to the activation. So they knew this was a problem years ago, and it didn't get any better. But I think what's even more of a joke is Ticketmaster's first offer to everyone to settle with a 50% voucher for Ticketmaster. What goes that to?
Especially when you can't get tickets to the things you want to get to either.
Yeah, I think it's been a little bit miscommunicated exactly. Like, I don't think it's been entirely clear from the email what the refund or discount or whatever it is. Some people have said it's you're being given a gift card for 50% of the value of the ticket you bought that was affected on Sunday. But that still means you've got to make another purchase to take advantage of that gift card. If I was, if I didn't pay I didn't pay to go to that game. I was working the game. If I had paid for a ticket, I would be throwing that 50% gift card back in the NFL or Ticketmaster's face and going, give me a refund, not a commitment to spend more money on your defective product.
So I've just pulled the email up in front of me, and the exact line is, we would like to offer you a gift card to the value of 50% of the impacted tickets. We'll be in touch in 48 hours with details on how to redeem it.
But again, I agree with everything you say, and it's also going to limit it to ticket. But it's going to be it's going to be a Ticketmaster 50% voucher, right?
And they've lost all the good faith that they ever had.
So now I've got to find a show or an act or whatever that I might want to go and see, which is not really where I would have spent my money naturally. So
can you sell some Oasis tickets, because they're easy to get hold of through Ticketmaster, or some
don't even get us on the resellers.
Easy to get hold of through Ticketmaster. Just everything about it annoys me, frustrates me, and hopefully someone will see sense and start putting this right, because they already priced the average NFL fan out of the game this year, according to many people, and then to give them a dreadful experience like that, I think they should hang their heads in shame. Absolutely disgraceful.
So, Rich,
let's go on.
So, Rich, whilst people were struggling to get in, I hear you had a pretty good seat next to some reasonably famous people.
Yeah, well, reasonably. So I was in block 10 something, and when I got to my seat, there was a really, really lovely lady in a incredible hair in an Aaron Jones shirt, and I was thinking, would she come to the game in an Aaron Jones shirt if she wasn't in some way related or some way connected to Aaron Jones? Anyway, more and more of the family piled in, and it turns out I was sat next to the vast majority of Aaron Jones's family and directly next to Aaron Jones's sister. So on the first drive, we got 9 yards from Mason, and I casually leaned over and said, Aaron had got 10. And after that, we had a little bit of a chat around the rest of the game, and so I was asking a few questions. I says, are you a Vikings fan or a whoever Aaron Jones plays for fan? And she went, really the latter. So she said, I've got about 7 years of boxed up Green Bay stuff. I says, well, that's great for bonfire night. Put all that out there and set it on fire. That's absolutely fine. But she did lean over and say, he looks better in purple. So I think she was pretty pleased the way that he'd managed to transfer into the Vikings. And to be fair, she was like really into football. And every time I was looking up to the heavens or, cursing the team out, she was doing exactly the same thing. And we were sort of high five with a couple of Aaron's brothers every time we got a decent play. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then some guys behind me were dressed up in some Vikings gear. Had a bit of a chat with them, not Vikings fans, but they were VIP Disney tour guides who had taken Metellus and Ivan Pace Jr. and I can't remember, was it Isaiah Rodgers maybe as well. They'd taken them around the Disney parks the last couple of days. So yeah, it was a nice place to sit, but different experience because they usually when you have a good play or something like that, you're all high fives all the way around. And I was looking around and it was sort of like doing that to myself. So it was, a bit of a different experience. But I suppose the game was a bit of a different experience because we had that fumble on the first drive, which made everyone very upset. And then sort of the script wasn't fulfilled because the Browns scored on their first drive, and then it became a bit of a punt off, which was a bit of a ball fest. John, you had good seats in the stadium. You were like looking directly over the field goal line. From your angles, what was your knee-jerk reaction to the game?
I was sitting there with sitting next to two neutral fans. There was a Seahawks fan and a Bills fan next to me with Rich Dem, who's who's made all the merchandise this year, designed a hell of a lot of the merchandise. So Yeah, he came with me and sat next to me. Yeah, I was just apologising to the Seahawks and the Bills fan next to us because it was just a punt fest for most of that game, and I've been to many.
Gotta be careful when you're saying that.
Been to many London games as a neutral fan, and honestly, that was one of the worst. I remember a Lions game at Wembley many years ago that was very much a punt fest as well, but yeah, it was atrocious. But the seats were amazing, and we got the win. So,
since we're with John, boy done good, boy done bad. Because we've literally only got 14 minutes left of this recording.
Now, people. Yeah, that's why we're talking so fast at the
start. I'm going to go for a surprise pick. I'm going to go Ryan Wright for boy done good.
77-yard punt, can't complain with that. And in a punting game, you got to have a good punter, and he was pretty good this weekend.
Boy done bad.
Yeah, and the operator of the spy cam for spider cam for the boy done bad.
Good call. No one's seen it. We had a very, very weird trajectory of a field goal in the second half that I looked at it and I was like, one, I can't believe the ball went wide right from where the ball was placed to in the first place. And two, I can't believe Will the Thrill missed from what was quite as easy, 50-odd yarder. And it turns out that the ball hit the wire of the spider cam and was never brought back. I think we'd be having a very different conversation if that had impacted the results of the game. Reece, coming to you, knee-jerk reaction, boy done good, boy done bad.
Knee-jerk it's always going to be that stressful, isn't it? Nothing we can do about that. It's just always the way, but we always win in London, so thank good for that. Well done to the camera operator for only showing Browns fans to make it look like it was a home game when it really wasn't. Boy done good. I will go for flipping heck. Boy done bad I want to do first because that was one I had in my head. Jonathan Allen. I just need to see more for what we're paying. And so far he's offered little to nothing in the way of run defense. Boy done good. Frick it. John McDonald for absolutely everything, being an absolute superstar this weekend. We say we're a team, but one man has stood out above all, and that's you, John.
Well done. I absolutely concur. TPJ, I'm going to leave you in the lurch. I'm going to go to Daz next. So I'll give you 5 minutes to think about your boy done good, boy done bad. Daz, I'm putting you on the spot. Knee-jerk reaction, and don't fill it with until you find someone. Boy done good, boy done bad as well.
So I've got a couple between. So I am going to go with Naylor, and I'll leave so I had a couple of boy done good, but boy done good will be Naylor. I think he played really well. There was that. Unfortunately, he got done in by some stupid procedural penalties again and silly holding penalties. But I think he's definitely cemented himself and shown himself in that wide receiver 3. And hopefully he's starting to get used. So that's my my boy done good. In terms of boy done bad. I'm just going to go with our defense generally on fourth downs. They had 100%, 3 of 3 fourth down conversions in that game, which just cannot happen. And we've been a little bit weak on that in other games as well. So, I'm just going to call that out. Defensively, on fourth downs as a whole, we need to get our ish together.
Yeah, B-Flow is obviously defensive genius, but that genius is not translating onto the field as much this year, is what I'm noticing. I know we've had some injuries, Cashman, Van Ginkel, all that sort of stuff, but I still feel like, and we've said it before, it's a lot of show and then a standard defensive set. And are people just getting wise to that? I don't really know. It'd be good to see how it plays out, especially against some tougher opposition for the rest of the year. TPJ, I'm coming to you. Knee-jerk reaction, boy done good, boy done bad.
Yeah, I mean, knee-jerk reaction is it's always nice to come away from London with a win. Always nice to be 5-0 in the city where I live. Same old Vikings win in London, as I was singing yesterday. All right, John, John loves to point out that we did win in 1983 in a preseason game in, what was it, at the time, the American Bowl.
Win's a win.
Boy done good. I'm going to go for Justin School. Because he's been bad. And yesterday, he's had to continue at right tackle with Brian O'Neill out. But then with Christian Darrisaw still being limited on reps, he had to switch to left tackle. And then Walter Rouse came in at right. So I'm going with School because they hardly got a pressure on us. I mean, they got a couple of sacks, but Myles Garrett was kept very, very quiet. So I'm happy to stick with our tackles. Boy done bad. It's difficult. I'm going to go with, you already taken the Spider Cam operator. We could have said NFL UK and Ticketmaster and all that for botching getting everyone in, but I'm going to go with KOC. Only, no, this is a very tongue-in-cheek one because he actually called a very good game, but he also called a timeout right at the very end, which nullified an interception.
Yeah,
that would have sealed the game. I mean, luckily we sealed the game anyway on the very next play. There was only like 7 seconds left anyway. But
well, to be fair, they sealed it on the very next play. It's the worst play I've ever seen on them.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It was
what was it?
7 What are you doing?
I can't think that Rodgers is very happy with KOC taking away his interception there right at the end.
By the way, though, like the Browns, I don't know what they were doing calling timeouts towards the very end. Like they should have been.
We were going to score. Like they were.
They were, but so they wanted to give themselves time to score as well. But also, like they should have been assuming they should have been backing themselves to at least limit us to a field goal, take it to overtime, and let the clock be the Vikings' enemy, not their enemy.
Well,
but I'm not. Far be it from me to criticize a team that made it easier for us to win.
There you go. And I totally agree. I suppose that brings on to me. Knee-jerk reaction. Boy done good. Boy done bad. Knee-jerk reaction is I'm happy we're at the bye, and I'm happy we're at the bye going in at 3-2 because I have seen some absolutely dreadful Vikings football all the way up to the end of this game. Some of it has been unforgivable, really, considering the state and the money that we spent on the team and how we should be performing week in, week out. I'm happy that we won a game. I'm happy that the curse is broken and you guys can stop blaming me.
No.
The curse is broken.
We don't have the time to argue, but you're wrong.
The curse isn't broken. No, you're allowed to watch games in the UK. You've as the number on your jersey you wore yesterday
removing your passport.
Showed, you have 0 wins outside the UK. Okay,
all right. So let's put a pin in that. Anyway, so we'll move on. We've seen some good stuff. But my boy done good. I thought pretty long. I mean, Justin Jefferson had a good game yesterday. He pulled off some catches that he probably shouldn't have pulled and wouldn't have pulled off if he wasn't Justin Jefferson. But I think that's maybe a bit easy. Our offensive lines coach. I mean, how on earth we managed to get a 9 and 9 drive? I mean, Blake, and that was the next one. Blake Brandel as centre. Thank you very much.
He found his position, right?
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he actually had played football before, so that was nice to see. Josh Oliver was good yesterday. I can't complain at all about Josh Oliver. Good hands for Cam Akers.
That was who I meant. That was who I meant to go for. My boy done good with Cam Akers scoring a touchdown with his first ever pass attempt.
All of those people could have been my boy done good, but instead I'm going to pivot. I'm going to pivot to the Browns graphic designer, because if someone's going to give him some plaudits for yesterday, the only person that is going to be me, because out of all the effort that he put into those little get loud Browns. Hello, are you still here? There was not a pin drop in the whole stadium, and he'd put the Terminator graphics. Macho Man Randy Savage appeared at one point. Everything about it. And they had 3 mascots as well. Some weird pixie dude walking around, cyber dog, a different dog. All of that furor about the game, the theatre that we love about the game, the Browns actually brought to London. They just forgot the fans. That was the other problem. So yeah, boy and good. I'm going to pivot to the Browns graphic designer. Well done, buddy. If someone's going to appreciate your work, it's going to be me. Boy done bad. It's difficult, boy done bad, because, again, like you've all said, we haven't played good football at all, really, in any game, apart from the Bengals, which, was a bit of a surprise more than anything else. Boy done bad is a little bit difficult. I could go to Reece for dropping the drum earlier in the day. I could pivot to myself, because obviously I've not brought good luck to the team for the first part of the season. I could pivot to Howard for buying 7 pints of Guinness when only 3 people wanted a drink when we were at the bar for the last portion of the night. But I'm just going to say, I'm not going to give a boy done bad this week. That is my final decision, because I am proud of every single person in the Vikings team, organisation and fans for turning up at the weekend, despite how we've played all season up until now, and bringing it. We were all pretty incredible. I think everyone deserves a great big round of applause. Well done, everyone.
Hey, Reece, how quickly can you do the outro?
Perfectly. If you like what you've heard, then please get in touch. ukvikespod@gmail.com, ukvikespod@gmail.com, Facebook, UK and Ireland, Minnesota Vikings Fan Club, Instagram and X and Threads at UK Vikings Fans, Blue Sky UK and AND, IRE Vikes Fans. That's how you can get in touch with us. There's a Discord link always. Check out the link in the bio of the podcast. Please rate, subscribe, review, all of that stuff. There you go. That's how quickly I can do it. I almost quickly that fast on a mark.
And our Just Giving page is still open at the Just Giving /page/the Purple Pedal. You can still donate. Don't make my efforts in vain.
Yeah, put that hand into that pocket and pull out something worth giving. That is what we're asking. Tesco is going to match a little bit of cash as well, so every little helps. We want to get to about $5,000, please. That'd be really nice. So again, I'm going to go to bed now because I'm absolutely knackered. I put my body through 4 weeks of Vikings fandom, hardcore Vikings fandom. It needs a rest. So I'm very happy for the bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in London. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in Dublin and across the world. It's been an absolutely pleasure being involved in the last couple of weeks as being a Vikings fan. It's been very fun. I think there's only one last thing to say, which is say goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Cheers. Ta-ra.